reading my story, Chasing Rainbows. Chapter 1. The Birth. Upon arrival in Plymouth, Gerald strolled about the city, then chancing upon a cafe, he stopped for lunch. Whilst he was enjoying his meal, the cafe became busy. It was a fine day in early May, and there appeared to be many travellers about. As Gerald ate apple pie and custard, he felt a light touch upon his shoulder. Glancing up, he found himself staring at the most beautiful young woman he had ever seen. Her eyes were of sapphire blue and sparkled as her pretty mouth curved into a smile. She had shimmering blonde hair, which she had tied back with a black ribbon, and fastened against her throat she wore a dainty silver cross. "Excuse me, sir, but would you mind if I shared your table? To be sure, all the other seats seem to be taken." She had spoken softly, with a slight accent, which he took to be Irish or Welsh. "Not at all," he replied politely, as he held out his hand in greeting. She introduced herself as Kathleen Flanagan. During lunch, he had discovered that she was newly arrived from London and was hoping to find work in the West Country. She had been born in one of the poorest parts of Dublin, and her father, Darcy, had struggled to make ends meet, as work was hard to come by. When Kathleen was aged 7, her parents had taken the ferry boat from Dublin across the Irish Sea to Liverpool, hoping to seek better employment. The years that followed were hard for the family. Darcy was often unemployed and turned to drink for solace. Kathleen, her mother, had struggled hard to keep them off the streets and food in their bellies. She had found work in a laundry, often working extra hours to make ends meet. Darcy's health had gone downhill fast, and he had died when Kathleen was 12 years old. As he listened to her tale, he found himself thanking God both his parents were in fine fettle. Without her father's support, life had been a constant struggle. Her mother had continued in employment at the laundry for many years, until one winter she fell ill with bronchitis. The illness had left her frail, and before long she contracted influenza. Kathleen tried to nurse her back to health, but Kathleen had not recovered her strength. Before she died, she had given Kathleen a gold sapphire ring that had belonged to her grandmother. Pressing money into her hand, she urged the girl to take the steam train to London. "It's your best chance, Kathleen," she had murmured weakly as she lay close to death. "Promise me, child," she had implored. Tears glistening upon her cheeks, Kathleen had nodded solemnly as she knelt beside the bed, gently stroking her mother's hair. Overcome with grief, she could not bear to leave her mother's side. Without her, she would be desolate, all alone in the world. Kathleen had passed away during the night. As soon as the funeral was over, Kathleen had packed up the few possessions she had and made her way to Liverpool station. After making inquiries at the booking office, she had purchased a ticket for the Liverpool Express, bound for Euston Station. It seemed she was in luck, for a train was due in about an hour. Kathleen boarded the train and travelled to London. Although she had indeed found employment soon after her arrival, she felt lost in such strange surroundings. She found employment as a live-in maid in Chelsea. Her employer was an elderly lady, but proved very demanding. The atmosphere within the house was so depressing. Having just lost her mother, Kathleen was still grieving. Although she tried hard to keep the house neat and tidy, her employer appeared to find fault in everything she did. After only a month, she gave in her notice and once again found herself out on the street. Kathleen had wandered around, unsure of her next destination. The girl spotted an omnibus which was travelling in the direction of Paddington Station. It came to a halt, and she climbed aboard.